Alrighty, welcome to Canada. I'm here for about 3 or 4 weeks on a little family holiday, and I've been trying, no, I haven't actually tried yet. This is the first time that I'm actually trying to get out and do some shooting, take some photos. So it's not, I'm not here on a photography trip, so the chances to get out and get a few hours to myself to come and shoot, yeah, sort of few and far between. So I'm not stressing about trying to get out too much, but I figure I come all this way across the world, I may as well try and get out a little bit. Let me tell you about this little spot here. In a sense, this is sort of, for me, sort of coming back to where it all began. Probably close to about 10 years ago. I was on a trip to the same area here, and I wasn't into landscape photography the same way that I am now. And I was just out for a little stroll with my camera, and I sort of followed the sound of running water and found this little spot here. And I reckon I probably spent about, I don't know, a good hour or something just exploring this little area and just shooting it. And I think that's probably the first time that I actually, I approached a shot or a shoot so deliberately, spending the time just to explore the area. It was the middle of winter, and this little fall here was completely covered in ice. There was a little bit of water still flowing, and it was just an awesome little spot, I thought. The photo that I ended up with, I'll show you it in a second. At the time, I don't think it's quite as good as I thought then, but at the time, I thought it was, I was super, super happy with that photo. I thought it was awesome. And yeah, I just thought I'd come back, see if I could find this little spot again. And yeah. So the area's changed. Oh, it's changed a bit since then, and obviously the conditions are completely different. It looks like there's been a whole lot of rockfall. I mean, we're talking almost 10 years ago, so you'd expect there to be a bit of change. There's a whole lot of rocks that have fallen down, which is sort of where I was shooting last time. It's getting close to the middle of summer here now in Canada, so the water flow is really drying up. This thing is, barely a trickle, so this area has a lot more potential than we're seeing it right now. But that's all right. Yeah, I'm still just going to sort of work around. I reckon there's possibly still a shot here. All right, so this place doesn't really have the same sort of mystique and magic to it like it did when I was here before, but that's to be expected, and that's okay. Bought one of these removable straps not long ago. I thought it would be kind of handy, but it's turned out to be really handy, especially in situations like this where you're climbing around on rocks and uneven surfaces. You strap it on while you're doing that, get an idea of some different angles and compositions, and then when you're ready to set up on a tripod, you just take it off and it's not flapping around or hanging in the water or something. So that's a decent investment. So as well as this area not being as great as it was maybe, the time of day is not optimal, but again, because I'm not here strictly for photography, the photography is not the top priority, so I get out when I can. So it's getting towards the end of the day, but middle of summer, the light hangs around for a while, so there is a little bit of direct sunlight. There's a few really bright spots on the rock face here, so that has the potential to blow out the scene. I'll just actually, even in the last half an hour since I've been here, it has changed a bit. It is getting better, so So yeah, I'll just hang around for a bit longer. And it should, I think it'll turn out okay. As far as the composition goes, I think, or the spot goes, I think this is going to be the spot. And then I'm just going to work around this little spot here on a few different compositions. It really would be great to have a slightly wider lens. 28mm is as wide as I can go here. I'd like to be able to go a bit wider, but this is all I have for now. So yeah, I'm just going to start here and then I'll just move around a little bit. Because there isn't a whole lot of water flying, what I'd like to be able to do is get as close to these tiny little falls of water as I can, just to emphasize the fact that there is just that little bit of water flowing. So I'm going to take a shot here and then I'll just move around a little bit more and see what I can do. I've got the first shot in the bag. Now I've pushed forward a bit. I've taken a vertical composition as well. And I think what I'll do to attempt to get around my problem of not having a wide angle lens is I'll just shoot a panorama. So yeah, whatever, probably end up with about 5 vertical images. And Lightroom these days just does a really good job of stitching them together. As long as you can sort of work around the area, get your tripod level, be able to see the composition, then yeah, you just shoot a series of shots and stitch them together, and that usually works okay. So I'll give that a shot too. All right, I've just pushed forward one last time, and I think this will be the last shot I get. So yeah, just, I don't know, like 3 or 4 feet back maybe. And there's just these tiny little cascades that I'm putting right in the foreground of the shot. The only problem is they're just not pretty. Like there's this sort of brown, sort of mossy, I think it's just moss that's turned brown. It's sort of sludgy stuff all over them. Yeah, so you know, it's not that nice looking, but it is what it is. I'm going to shoot it anyway. I don't care if it looks good. So yeah, so there's like sort of a couple of little tiers, almost steps just going up, and then there's a bit of sort of foliage. Did a little bit of gardening as well. Chucked a nice, well, a not so nice big stick out of the way, and again, just straight up to these falls in the background. As is often the case. Just going to spend a couple of minutes right at the end, handheld, just poking around some of these different areas, and then that's really going to do it. Yeah, look, it's awesome to come back to this place. Even though it's not quite as spectacular as the first time I came. You know, just to come back to a place which really is sort of where, you know, partially where it all began for me, where I sort of realized my, realized I had a bit of a passion for landscape photography, realized that I had the patience to just come and explore an area and really seek out some shots and, you know, take photos with a purpose instead of just coming and taking snapshots. You know, really, you know, go about photography in a really deliberate way. So yeah, it's great to come back here. So yeah, look, this has been my first photo shoot in this Canadian trip. I plan and hope to make some time for some more, so stick around for those. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Throw us a like if you're so inclined, if you want to. And yeah, look, until next time, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Cheers.